Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our main event of the evening. Will you please welcome, firstly, from Poland, Albert Sosnowski.
Here's Albert Sosnowski from Warsaw. When he's over here, bases himself in Brentwood, out of the Barry Hearn stable of fighters, matchroom fighter. And he's only lost twice in 45 pro contests. Thought he looked in decent shape at the weigh-in yesterday, and there was some suggestion he could maybe commentate on himself, because away from actually fighting, that's precisely what he does, commentates for Polish television.
And ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome his opponent from Brixton, Danny Williams.
Big Danny, now 35 years old, one of the nicest guys you'd meet in any sport, let alone boxing. Been around a long time now. Tonight in his 47th fight. Still dreaming of that world title fight his father told him that he would win. Still thinks he can get there. But did that 5th round against John McDermott show that the punch resistance is going, I wonder? At the highest level, it's not only about delivering it, it's about taking it. The punch which Mike Tyson caught him with in that 2nd round when they fought over in the States would have knocked most people unconscious. Then Danny Williams could take the hardest shots a man could deliver. Has he still got it?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening. Exclusive on ITV4, it's the Big Fight Live. Promoted by Hennessy Sports and sponsored this evening by Hooters of Nottingham, Lonsdale and Briefy House Resort, who are proud to present an international heavyweight contest over 10 3-minute rounds. Introduced between in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, as a professional from 45 contests. He has 43 wins with just 2 losses, 26 of his wins coming by way of the big KO. He weighs in at 16 stone, 7 pounds, from Poland. Welcome please to Albert Sosnowski. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing the red trunks, trim and white, as a professional from 46 contests. He has 40 wins with 6 losses, 31 wins coming by way of knockouts. He weighs in at 18 stone, 3 pounds, and enters the ring as a former Commonwealth champion, and he is the reigning heavyweight champion of Great Britain. Introducing the Brixton Bomber, Danny Williams. Boxing Board of Control. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Bob Edgeworth, and the referee in charge of the action is one of Britain's leading referees, Mr. Richie Davis.
Albert. Okay, fellows, you've both had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Behave yourselves, do as you're told, and above all, defend yourselves at all times. Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, an international heavyweight contest over 10 3-minute rounds.
Few people, including his then promoter Frank Warren, thought that Danny Williams should have retired after he lost his world title fight against Vitaly Klitschko. Took a brutal beating then, but he's come back since then, and still here in 2008, nearing the end of the year, still pursuing that world championship dream. In red and white, Danny Williams, shaven-headed figure. Albert Sosnowski, slightly the shorter man. Looked in decent shape, I thought, at the weigh-in, but whether he can mix in this sort of company, I'm not too sure. Andrew Gulota, the Polish #1. Lost on that Chengdu promotion to Ray Austin.
It's a good start from Sosnowski so far, taking the fight straight to Williams, seeing if he might be a bit shell-shocked, test his mentality, test his mind, see which Danny Williams has turned up. Williams likes to, sorry John, Williams likes to look at his opponents early on, and sometimes takes punches unnecessarily.
As Carl was saying, can be difficult for a fighter to get himself up psychologically. He'd been training for John McDermott. Now he has this big man from Warsaw. Sosnowski, who actually lost his last fight to one Zuri Lawrence. Not too many names on his resume, and Williams trying to unload in this opening round. A little bit wild. And as you say, Duke, here he is, just taking one or two as he has a look at his man.
Well, he relies a lot on his power, does Williams. Puts everything behind every punch when he starts his combinations. So he's content just to take punches on the gloves and on the arms and elbows.
Fighting Franz Botha at the end of the month over in Egypt. Botha, I think, only had one fight in about the last 6 years, hasn't he?
Well, that's a good fight for Williams to take. It's a safe fight, or at least on paper it's a safe fight.
Should be, but you never know. The WBF title surfacing there, but he's got to get through this. And Sosnowski will have other ideas. Williams hasn't done a lot so far in this opening period. Left hand from Williams, Sosnowski protesting that it was low. Danny Williams being told by his trainer David Pereira that he's already got Sosnowski's number. At the same time, Sosnowski was being told, don't headhunt, double up on the jab and don't headhunt. Let's see you mix up the pattern of your attacks. Williams trying to unload a hurtful hook towards the body of Sosnowski, and I thought it was telling that he did complain to the referee when one serious left hand landed in the first round. How did you score that first round, Duke?
Well, I gave it
to... hang on! He's looking in trouble here, Sosnowski. Well, round the back of the head, says the referee. Maybe a low one as well.
Williams is a very seasoned campaigner, as we've said already. Knows how to win fights, you know, by hook or by crook. Likes a low blow every now and again.
Well, Sosnowski was complaining that it was one, but there were heads in there as well, I think.
Williams has had his fair share of wars. Remember the Matt Skelton fights that he had?
Well, he's a hard guy, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He might be a gentle, amiable, affable sort of giant outside the ring, but he's a mean man when you get him there. Ask Audley Harrison.
He's come back from the brink several times as Williams.
Never forget that time he won the British title for the first time. So that's 7 or 8 years ago now against Mark Potter, when he dislocated his arm and beat Potter one-handed.
Absolutely. Showed incredible heart that night.
Dislocated. Remember, that was the one defeat on Vitaly Klitschko's record, wasn't he? He had a telling off the corner of the pole, Sosnowski. Yeah, saying Vitaly Klitschko against Chris Bird, he retired, didn't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
Danny Williams, there was no quit in him. the punches go at the moment, though.
Sosnowski not doing a bad job, just keeping Williams at bay with that jab. Not putting nothing behind it, just flicking it out. So it's up to Williams to nullify the jab, take it away, come back with his own combos.
10-round fight, this one. Sosnowski's only been 10 rounds on 3 occasions. As I was saying, no real names on his record. He beat a faded all-in Norris a year or 2 back. Beat him on a split decision. Williams has got to step it up. It's good from Sosnowski, and that's a lovely shot.
If the pace slows, and Williams can become disinterested very, very quickly.
There's a bit of damage to the left eye of Sosnowski, the big pole, and this is the incident in that round. Oh, it's the head, isn't it? Left shot, left hand also went in low, but it was the head which really brought the protest from Sosnowski. How are you scoring it at the moment, Duke? 2 rounds gone.
A round apiece. I've given to Sosnowski the first, Williams the second.
Williams itching for the opportunity once more to fight Audley Harrison. I spoke to him a week or so ago, a couple of weeks ago. He was referring to Big Audley as Julian Clary. It's an interesting one. Not sure what Mr. Clary would make of that. That's a good shot. Good right hand from Williams, and a quality jab.
He's looking for the big overhand right, is Williams. Feet firmly rooted to the canvas, waiting for the opportunity to drop the bum.
Looking for the big shot. Sosnowski's chin not really tested too much so far. Williams spearing him with that left jab. It's a quality weapon. Only just missed with that chopping right hand. Was very, very close to the mark.
Fortunately for Williams, it's not a hard-fought pace. Plenty of time to think, plenty of time to look for his openings without having to work too hard for it.
Sometimes looks best where he's forced into fighting instinctively.
Absolutely.
Williams needs to up the pace. Clearly has the greater punch power. Sosnowski, the 26 stoppages in his 43 wins. Admittedly not against fighters of Williams' class, but it shows he can bang a bit.
Well, we haven't seen the right hand from Sosnowski as yet.
Better work. Williams being beaten to the punch a couple of times. Close round, that previous one, difficult one to score. How did you give it, Duke?
Difficult to score. Again, I just give it to Sosnowski just marginally.
Well, the Polish corner telling Sosnowski, Ian Johnson actually, who's very much not Polish, but he said Williams is there to be knocked out, and they're telling him throw that right uppercut. That's the shot which you can take him with. David Pereira in that Williams corner. insisting that his man works away behind that left-hand lead, keeps on jabbing, beats his man to the jab and systematically softens him up. It's a good right hand from Sosnowski. Williams walked into that one a bit, and now a wounded animal, he starts to unload with passion.
Well, that's what he does, Williams. He waits to get hurt. This is getting a little bit ugly. It's getting a little bit ugly.
Well, Sosnowski, as one well-known Manchester light welterweight might tell you, is showing that he's not here for a tickling contest.
Why, you know, he didn't really like the way that Williams treated him on the ropes, and he gave it back, but then he went that little bit too far. Seriously reprimanded by the referee.
Yeah, a touch of gloves, as insisted on by Richie Davis, but here we are in this fourth round, and it's now starting to warm up.
Well, Williams waits to get stunned into action before he retaliates. A little bit frustrating. Needs to initiate more attacks. Feint kid. That's more like it.
Terrific jab, that one. Rocked back the head of Sosnowski. But it's a single shot.
He's taking the fight to Sosnowski now.
Oh, it's good from Sosnowski. Williams showing that he can be tagged. Left eye marking up a little bit as well. Sosnowski is certainly not showing himself to the pushover that one or two people thought he could be.
These supposedly marking time fights are very, very difficult from a psychological standpoint.
Well, I don't care who you're fighting, Duke. If you've got 43 wins and 26 knockouts, you are not a total patsy.
No, I'm not suggesting that for 1 minute, but he's you know, he's been here so many times before.
Williams not throwing enough leather in this round.
Keep your head up, son. Keep it up. Box on.
Interesting to hear what the corners are saying to the fighters at the end of this round. Seen too many right hands from Williams, haven't you?
No, he seems to just be switching off ever so slightly. Just getting outworked ever so slightly.
This is starting to turn out to be an awkward night for Williams. See what David Pereira is saying to him.
So you're doing the same thing there, Dan. You're waiting that's a little bit too long, okay? You're waiting a little bit too long, you're letting him have shots on him. Take him out of it, okay? If you keep loading up, it's not going to come. When you loosen up, you're looking good. Loosen up, relax. When you see him going,
it all started to get a little bit rough at one stage. Now what do we make of this? Danny lands one round the back of the head, and another one. Sosnowski, I don't think he liked that an awful lot, did he?
No.
And now, well, have a bit of this back, son. It looks almost as though the teeth were going in there. Sosnowski did land with a quality shot there in the ensuing seconds.
Well, that's what won in the round for me.
You got Sosnowski winning this fight, haven't you, Duke?
He just crept into a little bit of a lead now.
Duke scoring it by 3 rounds to 1 at the moment. It's Sosnowski's favour. Williams has got to up his work rate. Got to find a way to impose himself.
It's a better start to this round from Williams. Going to the body, going back to the head, and making the opponent miss, which is better because he knows how to win. He's got the tools to do the job. It's just whether he's prepared to start work early enough.
Had a lot of fights, Danny Williams, and a lot of them have been hard fights. Klitschko beating was amongst the most brutal, I think, that I can recall seeing.
It certainly was.
That night was pretty awful for Williams. That's a good shot. Single shot, though. Sosnowski's mouth starting to hang open a little. Maybe starting to feel the pace.
Well, he put a lot into the last round. It's up to Williams now to take the initiative.
The right hand at last.
Much better work from Williams, much better work from Williams, both on attack and defensively.
Sosnowski's been told the uppercut is the one he's got to find. Is he going to be able to produce? Crowd wanting to rise in acclaim to Williams. They'd love to see him mount a sustained attack here. Not quite there at the moment.
Yeah, he's winning this round though, is Williams.
He is. Big right hand's the one he's looking for. The jab starting to score.
Shields
there
come
was
out.
the uppercut.
Yeah, the
Sosnowski only missed by a fraction.
Shields out of Sosnowski's mouth.
Referee's not spotted it.
No, but Williams is taking full advantage of it. He's pressing the fight and he's going to look to...
Now he has. I think it's Danny's. I think it's Danny Williams's. Williams losing his gum shield. Anthony Small in that Williams corner, shouting advice. Talented fighter.
Lovely counter.
Good counter punch indeed from Williams. Solid left hand. Solid lead rather from Sosnowski, and then back came that quality right hand.
Williams was hiding the right hand, allowed the opponent to lead with it, slipped it, and delivered it with pinpoint accuracy.
Williams won that round, didn't he, Duke?
Yes.
There's the damage which came earlier on. May have been from that clash of heads. They've worked away on that one. Ian Johnson, more a bruise than a cut.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Danny. Now loosen up this jab, stop loading up, you're doing well. See, every time you relax, you're looking perfect, you're looking great. Just look for the counters. When you turn your shoulder on him, come back with the right hand. Okay? It's looking good, Danny. Looking very good. Loosen up the left hand. Doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to step in too much all the time.
Complicated man, Danny Williams. Is he finding the words to spur him on? Halfway stage, and you've got it Sosnowski 3-2, Duke.
Yeah, but Williams showing signs now. He's about to turn the tide, and
that's how Duke Mackenzie's reading it.
You just feel that the class lies with Williams. And they boxed at a much higher level.
Class maybe, but he's got to find work rate and devilment. Sosnowski beckoning Williams in, saying, come on, that all you've got, I can take a bit more of that. Not hurtful punches from Sosnowski, but more of them.
Sosnowski looking quite confident in this round.
Very much so. And Williams looking a wee bit ponderous.
Tired.
And the foot again off the gas.
Tired.
You reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
He has gone into the ring at 20.5 stones on occasion in the past. What was it this time? 18.8. But he's not been able to keep it going yet. Some dramas in his fights, haven't we? There was that fight not so long back in Spain when the fight came off the canvas on about 3 occasions before eventually stopping his man. After the promoter had jumped up and fired in it, rung the bell early. Only in boxing, eh? Williams is puffing and blowing. His mouth is bleeding. The bottom lip is a bit of a mess.
Sosnowski realises this and he's just working at range. Just trying to feed Williams the jab. An occasional right hand, doesn't want to get too involved. It's up to Williams to initiate the attack.
Williams insisted on taking this one in full knowledge of the fact that he got that fight planned over in Egypt in no more than 3 weeks' time from now. Well, his lip is badly cut now and bruised, and there's a little mouse underneath his left eye, all of which will take time to heal. Again, he leans on and looks a little bit tired, Williams. Well, this hasn't been a great round for the British champion.
Certainly hasn't. Switched off again.
And Williams walks a little bit flat-footed and a little bit tired looking back to his corner. Let's see what they're saying now. It's getting round to right act time, isn't it?
Believe me, you can do this all day. You're setting a nice pace, okay? But you're waiting a little bit too long. What you're doing sometimes is you're watching him too long. When you watch him too long, then you let him pick up on you. Don't watch him too long. Just keep busy with that left hand, okay? That hook and that jab, the hook of the jab is working lovely. When you get close, beat him up to the body. Shorten them a little bit more. They're a bit too wide. Shorten them and put them together a bit more. A little bit more burst. Okay?
Well, is that enough? Is that enough, Duke? Is he doing enough there? Quiet words of advice. In the other corner, they're talking like they think they've won it.
I've actually got Sosnowski a couple of rounds up. I don't think Williams is doing enough.
Is Williams being fired up by that sort of advice?
Oh, you know, you can imagine Ronnie Davis just getting in his corner and slapping him around the faces. He used to do with Chris Eubanks. You know, that's what he needs. The right act ridden to him.
Chris took some of his best shots between rounds. Ronnie could certainly deliver a slap.
He's a frustrating man, Mr. Williams.
It is not a good day at the office at the moment. You just know the frustration Duke is. Look, that's a terrific body shot, but a single shot and then doesn't follow it up. You know it's there in the armoury.
Yeah. Needs to pull it out.
Here, Richie Davis says stop boxing, and I think the abdominal protector has reached into places which abdominal protectors don't normally go. Moving swiftly on, the fight continues.
Williams still looking for that one big punch to turn this fight back in his favour, to give him the confidence that he needs to start putting the pressure on. Just waiting a little bit too long.
Single shots, and even when he misses like that, when you really load up, it takes it out of you.
Oh, it certainly does.
You know that when the opportunity comes, he can throw a barrage of punches. Remember the way in which he won that fight against Mike Tyson?
Oh, listen, that was just, obviously that was vintage
30
Williams.
punches or so unanswered.
Absolutely. But that was a long time ago.
True. That was the Danny Williams of then. And this is now. Can he still do it?
Absolutely. I mean, you really can't rest on your laurels and, you know, wallow about what you've achieved in the past. You've got to live in the now.
Of course, this is assuming that Richie Davis scores it the same way that we do. Maybe he's being impressed by the quality work of Williams and power shots like that. Knocking Sosnowski back across the ring with a really good, solid right hand. Well, for me, Williams has won this round, Duke.
Yeah, marginally better from Williams in this round. Sosnowski stepped off the gas and he just allowed Williams just to come back into the fight.
Outworked him, out-jabbed him, and then with the better quality. Laszlo Veres and Ian Johnson in the Sosnowski corner. And here's some of the action from the 7th round.
Yeah, a little bit untidy, a little bit low with that shot right on the hip.
It's borderline, isn't it? He throws a lot of punches like that, Danny.
Yeah, there was no real intent there. It wasn't deliberately a low blow.
You can do this sort of thing. I know you can play with this boy. Okay, he's there. You can look really good against him now. Kill the body. Kill the body, Dan. You get close, you beat up his body. Okay, that's right. Beat up his body. Shorten him a little bit. Not this one. Put him together.
Getting marked up, Sosnowski. Bruising over the left eye and over the nose. But he's game and he keeps coming. And it's a close fight, surely. Only 3 rounds remaining. It might be that it's decided by these 3. Oh, great shot! Good shot, Sosnowski. Left hook did it. And Williams is in nowhere land. He is in big, big trouble. He staggers drunkenly to his feet, walks forward, and he's recovered. But has he recovered enough?
He's totally gone.
Sosnowski is trying to take him out right here, and it is grim survival for Danny Williams, floored in the 8th round. But can he now somehow fight his way back, as he has so many times before? Sosnowski senses that he can take Williams out. But Williams holding on, trying to buy time. Richie Davis looking very, very closely at the British heavyweight champion, who teeters on the verge of defeat.
Well, fortunately for Williams, Sosnowski isn't a great finisher, but you've got to admire his heart. Trying all of his old tricks, trying to hold on, trying to cling, trying to do whatever he can to fight his way back into the fight. He's a natural born fighter, Williams, and that's when he's at his most... Oh, stop!
It's been stopped! The fight is all over! The fight is over! The left hand put him down, and left hand again rocked back the head of Williams, and Richie Davis jumped in and said that is enough, unofficially at 2 minutes 11 seconds into the 8th round. And Danny Williams, after a long career, still the British champion. This is a non-title fight, but he tastes defeat once more against an unheralded opponent in Albert Sosnowski. He was running out of gas, and Sosnowski getting very good applause. Nice to hear from this knowledgeable crowd here at York Hall. Williams over in that corner, he's got the doctor having a look at him, and he's saying, yeah, I'm all right. He recovered well and showed heart, as he always does, but that left hand, here it is, and that really was signalling the end. He did so well to get up from that. There it is, Duke.
Sweeping, crunching left hook from Sosnowski. Unfortunately for Williams, was never really going to beat the count. Didn't look like he really recovered from that punch. Caught him flush, and he just took his time, Sosnowski. I thought he was going to punch himself out, and Williams might have been able to get through the round, but it wasn't to be. Referee's intervention was obviously precise. Williams' health at stake, stopped the fight, but just took too many punches in the end.
He's had a lot of hard fights, says Danny Williams, and in his 47th, he tastes defeat for a 7th time, and Albert Sosnowski. Well, these great plans Williams had for a world heavyweight title fight have surely been ended now, and a sporting round of applause for the Pole, and rightly so, goes over to commiserate with Danny Williams. Sporting fella, nice man, and Williams defeated, and we can now, I think, get confirmation of the results from our Master of Ceremonies tonight, Simon Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 17 seconds of round 8, the referee having stopped the contest, Danny Williams being in no position to continue. Your winner, Poland's Albert Sosnowski. And ladies and gentlemen, I should like to bring out together there for Brixton's Danny Williams.
Well, that's a major upset here at York Hall, Bethnal Green. We will endeavour to talk to Danny Williams if he's in good enough shape to do that. But sporting applause for the Pole, who has created one of the big upsets of the year here. All those plans for Danny to go and fight in the desert later this month have disappeared up in smoke. And this fella has caused a big upset. A massive boxing upset here at York Hall, Bethnal Green. He took the fight at a week's notice, the Pole, Albert Sosnowski, and he took a couple of cuts, but he floored Danny Williams, and the fight was stopped in the 8th round. The late substitute winning it. Danny Williams stopped here at York Hall, Bethnal Green in the 8th. The doctors are looking at Danny at the moment. If we do get a chance to talk to him before the end of the show, of course we will. Carl, you're one punch away from your world being turned upside down in this game.
That's right, you've seen it there yourself tonight. I mean, that was a devastating, I think it was a left hook followed by a short right hand. Danny Williams was in control of the fight most of the way through. He knew what he was doing. He might be a little bit guilty of taking his foot off the gas. John McDermott pulled out about three and a half weeks ago. Yeah. And in the gym mentally, it's difficult to get matched up with Danny. Danny's got a good record, not a lot of people want to face him. This guy's come in as a late substitute. He may be guilty of not taking him deadly serious, and as the fight's gone on, he's been caught with a sweet left hook there.
What is that? How you did you have him in control for a start?
I don't agree with that at all, Carl. I don't think he was anywhere in control. I had the fight even going into the 8th round, and he looked so bad so many times. He would switch on, switch off, and that's Danny Williams. Yeah. Danny's so mercurial, so unpredictable. Sometimes he's up, sometimes he's down. Spends his life questioning himself. Switched off, left hook, right hand, the fight's over. And listen, it's turned his life upside down, but it's happened so many times. It's, if you look through Danny Williams' career, and we said it before the fight, it's just full of drama. You don't know which Danny turned up, and the wrong Danny turned up tonight. He wasn't switched on, and he paid the price.
There were some ugly moments in the fight. It was quite an entertaining one, actually, wasn't it? Really, possibly not from Danny Williams' point of view. Let's take a look at some of the action that had them on their feet here at the York Hall, and it almost carried on outside the ring at one stage.
Yeah, he pushed him outside the ropes. Yeah, and there's a lot of ugly stuff here, hitting him low.
That was a low blow, a bit of a head.
Yeah, and the head, and then banging him, doing rabbit punch as well. Again, Sosnowski complained about him using his head. He bashed in with his head, and then there was this carry on with the ropes here, pushing him down. And watch what he does here. He pushes Danny's neck, tries to push him over the ropes. Look, and Richie Davis gave him a stern warning at this stage. He told him off. But it was a bit of a rough and tumble fight the whole way through. Elbows going in there, forearms, and it was Richie Davis done the best he could to control things, but it was a rough and tumble fight the whole way through.
I mean, I think we spoke to Junior Witter about when he lost his world title. His mind wasn't there, and he paid the price. And Danny went missing tonight. And fair play to Sosnowski, in good shape. He didn't mind. He was facing the fellow who beat Mike Tyson. He didn't mind. He took it at a week's notice. He did a number on Danny.
He's the sort of guy that's probably in the gym in Poland, and he's keeping himself fit.
Well, he's based over here actually as well. So he's
waiting for the phone call.
Yeah,
and he's turned up tonight, not out of shape. Although he's had a week's notice, he's not out of shape. And I know Barry's obviously he thought that Danny was totally behind all the way through. Danny would have been comfortable with what was happening. Yeah. He was slipping and sliding, blocking shots, landing his jab, and having his successes. I mean, he was getting caught with good shots. I mean, this is towards the end of the fight when he got caught with some big stingers. Yeah. But
he had some success himself. Danny had a lot of success, and he snapped Sosnowski's head back a lot.
Quality Danny that we've seen.
Exactly, but he switches off. That's the problem, Carl. He does a great little bit of success, and suddenly he switches off, and he gets nailed himself. Just like examples
like
this.
He was looking for little breathers, and that was late in the pole, back in the fight.
And that was a great left.
And that's why that happened.
Yeah.
Because
he just switched off, left hook, right hand, and that's it all over. You don't let a guy at 16.5 stone hit you like that, have a free shot at you, especially when you're tired. And then Richie Davis gives him every chance, and then jumped in, perfect stoppage. Danny's got to retire now. That's the end of his career.
Do you think so?
Listen, you cannot come back from that. He's had a long, hard career. He's 35 years old. He's had some tremendous highs and some awful lows. But he's just been hit too much. He was leaden-footing the whole way through that fight, and I just don't think he should be boxing anymore. Really, I don't. I mean, my attitude has got to be think of the boxer's safety, the boxer's health.
Exactly.
Richie Davis done a brilliant job there.
So,
it's time to stop.
Listen, you two aren't here to agree, but do you believe that Danny should call it?
I think it could be curtain call for him, because he's got to think of his safety. He can't be taking big shots off big geezers like that, big gentlemen like that, throwing big howitzers at you. And if you're on the end of them kind of shots, they're damaging shots. And he's got a family he's got to think about. And
exactly.
He can't turn up half-hearted being on the end of them shots.
But just
exactly
a couple of things for you here, both as ex-fighters. Danny is still the British champion.
Yeah.
He won't want to go out on a performance like that after the sort of career he's had. He'll want to go out on a win, won't he?
He will do. I mean, obviously pride plays a factor in every fighter's game, but he's got to be realistic. Unless he's going to commit himself 100% for every fight. And
I think that's been his problem. That's been his problem, Carl. He can't commit himself. He can't come in here on a half-hearted way, and especially with his mind, he's had a struggle his whole life. He questions himself. Can I do it? Can I really do it? Even when he's at the top of his game, and that plays, eventually takes his wear and tear. And today he took an awful beating, and that last left hook and right hand, and Richie Davis gave him the chance to come back, and he had nothing left.
He did really well to get up, didn't he?
Absolutely,
really well. I didn't think he was getting up from
and what I'm talking about is the accumulation of punches he's taken over the years as well.
Right.
You've got to take that into consideration. I think it's time to stop.
So unanimous here. It should be the end for Danny Williams. As I say, we're still endeavouring to talk to him. Once the doctors give us the tick, you will hear from Danny. But let's hear from the fellow really who upset the form book here tonight. The Pole who beat Danny Williams, Albert Sosnowski.
Well, how do you sum up that victory?
I told you yesterday, I will here to win, and I did it. So sorry for my English, it's not really good because I little speak English, but
it's okay.
I am very tired, very proud, and very happy. I bought one of the best boxer on the world. Danny is a very good fighter, but this is fight one punch. This position in day is most important in the sport.
Did you expect to win tonight?
Sure.
Nobody gave you a chance.
Exactly, it was my point, because I haven't any pressure in my mind. I have to win. I go to the ring and just fight and just box and do what I best.
Was Danny poor, or were you very good?
I'm very good, for sure. Danny.
But we haven't heard of you before. We haven't heard of you before, Albert, at the top level.
So this is my problem. I have to train in the training all the time, because if I fight with good boxer, my skills going up. When I fight,
you get better.
Yeah, you get better. If I fight with the easier opponent, I'm falling down. So
you've done a lot of damage tonight to Danny Williams' career, probably.
It's not my problem. Sorry. I am very happy. I think Danny go back and he can box. He can come back.
What for you next? What now? What can you dream of now?
Rest and holiday, and we will see. We waiting for the good chance. Maybe with more opponent, more step, and this.
Well, you've beaten someone who beat Mike Tyson.
I'm very happy with this. I can imagine before the fight, but now I did it and I believed.
Well done.
Thank you very much.